Welcome everybody to Friday Coffee. So glad that you're here today. I'm Susan from the Chamber. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors for today, Jefferson Bank. We have several representatives, and we're going to have a great program today from Reynders Academy. Just know we do have some folks joining us on Zoom, so we ask that everybody on Zoom be muted. We will give you a chance to unmute and introduce yourselves, and then ask questions at the end. So glad to have those folks there. We do ask that you don't record or use anything on here without permission. Let's start with introductions. You want to go ahead and start with your name and business and anything you might want to share?
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Ian. I'm with T-Mobile, the new corporate location that opened inside of Sam's Club. We're a little bit different from the one on the Boulevard. They're a franchise company, so they're not really T-Mobile. So if you guys are T-Mobile customers or want to sign up, we're always there. And this is the Sam's Club representative.
Right, so I'm Jane and I work at the Sam's Club that Ian's in, and I'm the sales and training manager there.
Ken Adamson, Jefferson Bank.
Stacey Brown, Jefferson Bank.
Kim Hatcher, Jefferson Bank.
Jack Coleman, Coleman Associates.
Jamie Meyer, Custom Promotional Branding. Brett Trowbridge, Jefferson Bank.
Ira Moore, Animal Medical Center.
Roland Howard, Uncle Valley Transportation.
Frank Bryson, Evening Rotary.
Paula Benny, C&S Employment Solutions.
Katrina Tennant, Central Bank.
Good morning, Rochelle Weaver, Cumulus Meeting.
Leslie Davis, Keller Williams Realty.
Good morning, Christopher Scott with Farmers Insurance and candidate for Callaway County Commissioner.
Michael Boyce, Mid-America Bank in River Oak, Dan.
Travis Reynders, River Oak Christian Academy.
And we're all down.
Every road there.
Sorry, Rebecca Brown, Chamber.
Sherry Daltorian, Armstrong, East Milwaukee.
Grant Shortos, Jefferson City Flying Service, River Oak grandfather. J.C. for Sebring Board of CPAs. Ryan Crane, City of Jefferson.
Happy Friday, everyone. Julius King, attorney at law, King Legal and Consulting.
Jay Moore, Chamber staff.
Gary Plummer with the Chamber.
I'm Brian McCarty, I'm with Ice Cream Factory.
Kevin Dick, Jefferson Bank Investor Services.
Randy Bryant, Jefferson Bank. Deb Bushman, Holland Family Chiropractic.
Darcy Craig, Capital City Casa.
Morgan Bonham, with His Unlimited and a River Oak Farm.
Cameron Gerber with the News Tribune.
Renee Tinkle, Jefferson Bank.
Okay, anybody online, we'll ask that you unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Bank.
We didn't hear that, why don't you go again?
Joan Wilkes, Central Bank.
This is Jeff Davidson with Modern Litho and proud River Oak dad and River Oak board member.
Kayla Keller, the Halo Foundation.
Missy Bono with the Jefferson City Regional Economic Partnership.
Lisa Smith, head of school at River Oak Christian Academy.
Anybody else before we go on? Okay. Well, I do want to welcome some new members that we have here today. Ian, you're on this list. So we have a great group of new members that have joined the chamber since we had our Friday coffee last. American Heart Association, Capital City PAC, Chick-fil-A, Keys Maddox, Epic Real Estate Group, Carrie, Spicer, Roberts Auto Sales, Mary Making Balloons, Roaming Spirits, Rock and Bod Studio, Scott's Home Solutions, The Sneaker Project, The Studio at Dunklin, and T-Mobile, and You First Reconstruction. So these are the folks that have joined the last time. We have some other new members in here too. I know Ice Cream Factory is a recent new member too. Welcome you here today. I'm going to turn it over to Jefferson Bank right now. Renee is going to take it over and give our sponsor.
Okay, wonderful. So first of all, we're going to do a selfie with the banker. Okay, is everybody ready? All right, just to show that we had an awesome crowd this morning, so everybody smile. So you heard a selfie with the mayor. Now it's all right.
And where's this the jewel?
Oh, yeah. So good morning. We'll just take a quick minute because they are the really big show. We're excited here for River Oak. But just to say a few things about Jefferson Bank. I was going to have our team introduce themselves, but you met them all already. And honestly, we love to support kids, we love to support Christian education, so the fact that we're able to be here today is just really cool, so thank you so much for that. A couple things that I want to share with you all just about Jefferson Bank. What's really cool about, oh, I gotta make sure, is it this?
It is.
The top one?
It's the air one.
Got it.
Yeah.
I want to tell you just about two quick things. Number one, the reason why this is so great to go with River Oak Academy is because we have a new kids savings program. It's called Captain Cash Kids Club. We launched it back in the fall. We've blown it up all over social media. We're going to be at Kids Fest. We did an Easter egg hunt that was crazy. I think we had the entire town at West Hughes Hall. But just to share with you, if you know anyone who is 0 to 17 years old, so you have to know someone who is 0 to 17 years old, right? The idea behind Captain Cash Kids Club is that we want kids to learn about savings, but we also want them to be comfortable coming into a bank. They get a prize when they come in on the second Friday or Saturday of the month. They come in and do their deposit, and I'll tell you what, we have had some of the cutest photo opportunities because of Captain Cash that you could even possibly imagine. So, I mean, the whole idea is teaching them to save early, but helping them build relationships and build a generational banker. So we want to share with you, there is some information out there on the table. If you have someone that you would love to share the information with, please take one of those. You can come into any branch, open up a youth savings account, and they become part of Captain Cash Kids Club. We're going to have a couple activities a year. They're going to be exclusive for those kids. And it's been a lot of fun. Like, our staff has rallied behind it. The kids that come in have been really excited. We actually have a Captain Cash, and I'm not going to tell you, but one of our people in this room has been Captain Cash. And if you know anything about, not that we're
It's supposed to be secret.
It is, so that's something I was going to share. If you know anything about being a mascot, or if you've ever been a mascot, there's rules. People didn't know that. You cannot talk. No one can know who's in there. People are like, who's in the suit? It's Captain Cash. That's it. That's all you got to know. But we actually made a trip to Little Explorers Discovery Center, and some of the kids were super excited and ran right to them, gave them big hugs, and other ones grabbed their parents' leg and wouldn't get to let go for anything in the world. So it's just a mascot thing. It's kind of like Santa Claus. You never know what they're going to do. But it's been a really lot of fun, and we just want you to know that you're going to see it a lot in the community. And if you know kids that need a savings account, that they get a new account bag when they start. And it's been a really great program. So I want to share with that about you a little bit. And then the other thing I want to share with you is fraud. Can you believe that people are getting smarter and fraud is getting bigger? It's kind of crazy. But we are hosting an event on May 16th, a breakfast at 8:30 in the morning and a lunch at 11 a.m. You don't have to be a Jefferson Bank customer to attend, but we're going to talk about what is happening, what to be watching for. We're going to have some of our retail staff talking about some of the products that banking can offer to help watch fraud for you. So if you know anybody who is interested or has had fraud, or if you want to combat fraud, please come to one of these events. Our RSVP list is getting pretty full, so we're excited about that. That just means it's a subject that people are wanting to know more about, and we want to bring a value-added topic to the community. So there's also some of those flyers out there as well. If you feel interested to come or want to share it with someone, please do. So that's it for Jefferson Bank. Is there any questions about the 2 slides that I shared that I can clarify? Okay, I guess it's all you. So thank you so much.
You want to draw for a door prize?
Oh, you want to do that now? Everybody get to enter while we're here. So today we are doing a Stanley, an almost Stanley. I call it almost.
We're on the
Stanley.
big screen there.
Oh, sorry. I know Michael really wants this cooler.
He does.
All right, for the Stanley Cup, we have Jade with Sam's Club. Oh yeah, okay, bring your cup, bring your cup. Here we go, you're almost Stanley.
There you go.
Okay, and then the cooler, everybody needs one of these for summer, right? Okay. And our final winner, Ian Trowbridge. Sorry, Owen, sit on this guy.
He's from Lucky Spots. Got it, good, congrats. Good.
All right, thank you for letting us be here this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you again for being the sponsor to Jefferson Bank, and a reminder, our other co-sponsor for our Friday Coffee is Cumulus Media, and so Rochelle's here, she's going to tell you a little bit about our sponsorship in Cumulus.
Absolutely. Proud to represent those 7 radio stations, and then we have digital products as well. So if you're a Friday sponsor, you get to come in here and do exactly what Renee did, kind of present what you have going on, and then we'll craft a radio ad campaign for you. You get 25 free ads to run on one of our stations. talked to close to one of our, we talk each week to close to 200,000 people each week between the radio stations, so Renee will have to get together and kind of do a little ad for Jefferson Banks.
Good. Well, I'm gonna make some quick announcements before we have our program. We had an awesome networking event yesterday, the Chamber Barbecue. I know a lot of folks in this room were there, and a lot of you were sponsors, and we appreciate that. Side note, if your banner or Tim was left at the Capitol Bluffs, we have it, it's gonna be here after 10 o'clock today, so if you're in the room or on the line and you need to pick those up, we'll have those. But we appreciate Modern Litho for helping us with their van. They allowed us to use their cargo way to bring all those things back. But our next big networking event, the same day as your fraud event, is May 16th, but it's at 4 to 5:30, so you won't conflict there. It's Chamber Connections, and this is our monthly networking event. Unlike this, it's later in the afternoon, it's more casual, you bring your business cards, just casual networking. This month, it's at Prison Brews, it's always on the third Thursday from 4 to 5:30. And Vogel Insurance, the Acrisure Group is the co-host, and along with Cat Country and KWS. So that's a great opportunity for you to network, and if you haven't been to Prison Brew, enjoyed their outdoor patio atmosphere, that's a great Chamber Connection to attend. That's May 16th from 4 to 5:30. Another event that we have coming up is our golf tournament. It's on June 17th. That's at Meadow Lake. We are sold out on our teams, and our sponsors are going great. We have limited sponsors. We have some beverage card and some whole sponsors available. But everybody can participate, because if you want to provide a prize, something from your business as one of our player gift door prizes, you can do that. And it's announced at our 19th hole party at the end with the awards. So it's a way that you can participate with maybe not being on the course that day. If you have an interest in participating and being involved in the golf tournament, let me know. We'll try and find a spot for you. But it's a great day of networking in beautiful Meadow Lake Acres golf course. An announcement, is there anybody in the room here that's in leadership Jefferson City class by now, 2024? They've announced the date for their charity fundraiser, which they call Battle of the Brews. And that date is August 24th. So you're going to see more information about that if you choose to sponsor or participate. They're going to be working on that, so you'll hear more information, but I just want to let you know, get that date on your calendar. That is August 24th. And with that, I'm going to introduce our speaker for today. Travis Reynders is the Director of Development for River Road Christian Academy. He's originally from St. Louis. He moved to Jefferson City after leaving the Marines in 2015. His wife Lindsay is a Jefferson City native and is also a third grade teacher at River Oak. He has 2 children. Watson is currently a second grader at River Oak, and Gwendolyn is a future River Oak Knight starting this fall. So Travis, I've known Travis when he first came to town, and I have to say, young professional, and I've watched him just contribute to this community and grow his life and his family and his career. So it's a pleasure to have you associated with River Oak, and tell us more about it.
Thank y'all for having us this morning for River Christian Academy. We got some people here, and I'm going to make note of this because they didn't. Grant kind of alluded to it. Grant Shoto is on the board. He's also on the construction committee for the program, the project that we're going to go over, as well as Sherry is a former president of our school board and also on the construction committee. So they've devoted a lot of time to this project. And I know they're not going to speak today. I told them I wouldn't call them up unless I really needed to. But I just wanted to say thank you to them for their work. And with Jeff, I think was on the call, as well as Lisa. So Lisa's running the school right now, as we all know, she's the head of school. So she's running that school phenomenally. It's the end of the year, so very, very busy time for us. School gets out next week, so I think it's a little crazier down there. So we would love for you to visit River Oak Christian Academy where we are now, and we just wait till the end of the school year because it's pretty nuts over there. But yeah, as Susan said, I'm the Director of Development for River Oak Christian Academy. I've been there for about a year or so. I do have a second grade son there, and if you heard Susan, my wife is a third grade teacher. So next year, my son is going to be in my wife's class, so my house is about to get very interesting. About 9 months. So I'm going to, Ken actually is my neighbor over here, so I'm going to go to Ken's house.
That's right. So we got an extra room for it.
That's right. He's already prepared for it. So, but we we're excited to kind of talk about what we got going on here in Jefferson City. A little bit of background on River Oak Christian Academy. We started actually in 2006 out of Concord Baptist Church. They kind of thought we needed a school that was Christian based. So they started the school, and then about in 2015 to 2016, we rebranded to River Oak Christian Academy because we started to represent about 20 local churches. And now we have students from 35 different churches from three surrounding counties. With that came a lot of growth. It used to be kindergarten through 5th grade. And then kind of we started to see in the last several years a need for middle school as well. There's some demand for that from parents. So we started having 6th grade, we had 7th, and this year, very excited that we're gonna have our first graduating 8th grade class. So with that growth has been phenomenal. We had about 141 students the previous year. We're up to 170, 171 right now, and we're hopefully projecting about 190 next year. And if you see our building, if you've been there, if not, it's very crowded. So you'll see kind of what we got going on here in a little bit. But because of that growth, we launched a capital campaign in 2022. And it was the Deeply Rooted Future Driven Capital Campaign. It was initiated after we did a pretty extensive feasibility study on could the parents want it, number one, was it going to be sustainable in the future as well? After those questions got answered, our initial goal was actually we were going to build from the ground up. That's kind of what our initial capital campaign was. And if anyone kind of knows the construction world the last several years, we were only going to be able to build about a 27,000 square foot building. And right now we're at 22,000 square feet, and that included our gym. So we were going to be out of space right away. Our goal was to have 2 classes of every grade. So we were going to be out of space with a brand new building right away. So that wasn't really feasible for us. And so we kind of went back to the drawing board, did a lot of praying about what was going to happen, and luckily God threw this phenomenal building into our way. So with that, we pivoted directions of building what we call it urgent care building. The students love calling it urgent care building. That's going to be their new school in urgent care. Our new goal now is we're funding the purchase and we're completely renovating that urgent care building over on 3308 West Edgewood. So we're over right behind Lowe's right now. So right down the street is where we're moving. To. So obviously the reason, a little bit of what I alluded to, the reason for the capital campaign is we just have a tremendous amount of growth. And we're growing in the right rates. We're growing in KP through 3rd, 4th, 5th. All those are pretty much maxed out classes at that 21 or 22, and that's still pretty high for what we like to see for class sizes. We like them a little bit lower, but with we're not quite into that threshold of splitting classes. We're also not at the threshold because we're out of space, and that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing right now. So as I said, we're 171 enrolled right now. Previously we had 140. We did have to actually add a classroom trailer to the back with middle school. And so that is also, you can see why we have this need for a new building. Our growth has just been tremendous. There's been a need there for us, and we're continuing to see that growth and that need. I remember Grant did an interview probably about a year or so ago, and he said, and so maybe this was 2023, and he said, if we can be to 200 students in the next 5 years, that would be phenomenal. Well, I just told you we're about to be 190 within a year and a half of that interview. So our growth is there. It's projecting to go higher than that. And I think once we get to this building, talking about, we're hoping to be in the 270s to 300s, I think, of student enrollment. So we are reaching maximum capacity of the current school, and space is becoming a big issue. I would love to give you guys all a tour of the building sometime. It gets very hectic, and the kids are going crazy. But so here's 3308 West Edgewood with what River Oak's planning to do. So if you guys kind of know that building, you know that entrance way, so with that, getting this rendering was huge. When I saw River Oak Christian Academy sprawl across that building, that kind of brought a tear in my eye, because it's amazing the growth that we have and what God's planning for us to do. When we thought we were building, we had to completely pivot with donors who already thought we were building a new building. And every single one of them was behind what we were doing and the reasons we were doing this. So what we're most excited, I think what the kids are most excited about is maybe not necessarily the school, but that gymnasium that we're going to be adding on to the back of that as well. They've not had a gymnasium. Right now, PE's in a multi-purpose room with nasty tile that I think we all can remember. We probably rolled around on it back in the day, it's broke your fingers, whatever you did. But we're very excited about that gym. I know the kids are as well. And it's amazing. We had a grandparents' day about a month and a half or so ago. It was amazing to see the kids come up with their grandparents say, Grandma, this is where I get to play. Like, I don't have to play in that place anymore. This is where I get to go play basketball, do what I want to do for PE class. And they're excited about it. So are we. So this is a little bit of what the outside's going to look like. And I'm just going to kind of take you through what the plans are going to look like too. Just to kind of get an idea. As I said, we're trying to get 2 grades of every single one. So this main level, this first level where your admin offices will be, they're kind of represented in the orange. The blue is classrooms. So this is like kind of where your kinder prep, your kindergarten, your first, second grades will be. Obviously with admin offices, teacher workspaces, bathrooms and stuff like that. So that's kind of the first floor plan. The second floor, is more your middle school, your second, third, fourth, your third, fourth, fifth, and your middle school, also with their specific science labs and stuff like that, is what we're going to get into. So this is all, right now, this is all included in what our campaign is and what the funding is going to go towards. So this kind of ensuring that we're utilizing the dollars that we have appropriately with this first and second level, and that's what we're really focused on right now. This is the addition to the gym. You saw kind of a breezeway. We'll have a breezeway that's going to go and get access to this gym. We have a phenomenal archery program that they can actually finally, I think we're always looking for spaces to practice, and we can finally have somewhere that they'll be able to practice. You can see the green space there. So actually, if you're familiar with the building, this sits behind the building. So we'll obviously have to remove some parking in order to achieve this gymnasium. But it'll be in the thought of it is to be in the back with some green space there for playgrounds and stuff for the kids. Right now, we're on just a blacktop finish, which I grew up with as well, but we're excited to give them some green space so they can have some recesses and play a little bit safer than they are now. So this is all, like I said, this is all included. There is a third level to this building. Right now, that's not in our plans to finish out. Completely. That's where we're going to house, I think on the left side we'll house our chapel, and on the right side we'll house our library. So right now the gym is going to function as kind of a multi-purpose area where we can have school events, where we can have school chapels and stuff like that. And right now the third floor is not included in this plan, just given the funds that we have. Obviously we're going to do that's kind of where I guess I'm coming in, where the pressure's on for if I can get funds to raise this while we're doing construction, that's what we're going to do. But also the great part about this is it's the third floor. We can finish this in the summertime if we needed to, so it doesn't have to be done right away. So what we're trying to do is be the best stewards of the resources that we have, and the donors that are providing us with these funds. We're trying to be the best stewards of that money. We're a nonprofit, and so that's our main goal. So right now we currently raised just over $6 million. Money to be raised, so this project is about 10.4. So we got about $4 million left to raise. And when I say that, that would be debt free. That would mean we move into this building with nothing. Buildings paid for, construction paid for, everything like that. That's a big goal of ours. It is a lofty goal, but it's one that we feel is the best use of funding. So we don't want to just go into debt with a new building. We want to try and be as debt free as we possibly can when we move into this building. And as I said, those additional funds are needed to complete the third floor. But that's something that obviously can be done in the future. Yes, it's a library, and we have a plan to have a separate, smaller space for a library right now that can accommodate that, and then the chapel can be done in the gymnasium. So we kind of get a little creative. We've been very creative the last several years with the space we have now, so we can get a little creative with not having a third floor right now. So we're not losing out on classroom space, and that's important for us. So we're not sacrificing classroom space to have something else. We're going to keep the classroom space that we need so we can get the amount of kids and the bodies that we need to fill those seats. And then think about the third floor in the future. And like I said, that's a project that if we get the funding when we're in construction, then we'll do it. If it's something after, that's something that we look at in the summertime when kids are not in school. So they're not going to be, there's not time to be an issue, essentially. So I actually I built this PowerPoint for a different thing as well. So when I said plans and fun, yeah, but I was hoping, you guys actually do have postcards in here, so here's the development side of it, which which is just a fun way of saying fundraiser. So don't let anyone fool you. But I did give you guys pamphlets, and I didn't mention these when I started. But I did give you pamphlets, and it goes through a lot of this information, a lot of our history, a lot of why our parents and why our board and why teachers and staff really thought this was a big need for us. We kind of have some renderings there, gives a little more detail. The building that you just saw is 44,000 square feet, not including the gym. The building we're in right now is 22,000 square feet. And remember, I told you we added a trailer. So we're doubling the size of the building that we have. And that's kind of where, again, when we pivoted, we saw 27,000 square feet from 22. Now we're thinking, now we're at 44. So the amount of space, it was kind of a no-brainer for us when this building became available. So that's kind of where, I think I don't remember who I stood in front of and said what we were planning to do, but it was about a year and a half or so ago, and we were building up what we were doing from the ground up. And so it's hard when you have to pivot during a capital campaign, but the biggest thing is, like I said, we are stewards of our donors' money. We're a nonprofit, and that is vitally important to us. So we have to be conscientious of that, but we're also engaging different avenues of who's going to support us. So obviously we start with parents and grandparents of River Oak, Christian individuals with a heart and passion for education. One thing that I love about this community is it doesn't almost matter who you are, or where you go, or where you went. They're passionate about education, whether it's public school, whether it's Elias, whether it's Jefferson City Public. It doesn't matter who it is. You're passionate about education, and that's important. Because education is the foundation for our future in this community. And that's the one thing that I think is vitally important, is understanding that and believing in that, because I think that's what will make our community grow. And I think at the chamber here, that's what we want, correct? That's what we're always looking to do, is how can we make this community better, and how can we make this community grow? And I think we're touching both those bases in what we're doing with our plan. Because the great thing about who we are is we're only going to 8th grade. So we may get this question later, so I'm just going to alleviate it now. Is the high school question. Are we going to go to high school? Well, right now, obviously, this is our first 8th grade class. So the building we're in is not going to hold high school. So we would have to move again. But right now, so that's kind of not, that's in the far, far future. But what I love about what we can be is we're not going to be a feeder school to anybody. Our 8th grade class, I think, is going to 3 or 4 different high schools. So the kids that we're educating, the kids that we're bringing up in a Christian environment, we're going to go out to their schools, go out to those high schools, and be the light of Christ in those schools. And that's what makes me the most happy. Because we're not going to be just going to Elias. We're not going to be just going to the public schools. We're not going to be just going to Calvary Lutheran. We're going to go to all those schools, and they're all going to be River Oak kids. And that's what I love the most about it. We're not going to be just a feeder for one high school. And yeah, if we get to high school in 20 years, that's going to be phenomenal. But right now, we're only getting 8th grade, and that's kind of what I just wanted to alleviate that question. That's the number one question we'll probably get is high school. So right now, that's not in our immediate future. But we're excited to see what happens with our kids in high schools that they go to. So obviously, a little bit back to the local Jefferson City community, individuals and businesses, i.e. you all. So which is why I mentioned the pledge cards, no pressure from everybody. Jefferson Bank, thank you all for I'll say this right now, thank you for sponsoring us. We'll talk. But, just thank you all. Thank you guys for being here and just listening to what we have to say, to be honest with you. That's a blessing for us to get our word out of who we are, what we do, and what we're going to be doing. So just, again, thank you guys for being here. Churches is a big one for us. Obviously, we have 35 that are represented. We probably have about 8 or 9 of those that are heavy populated from student, have a heavy population of student body. But that's a great thing for us that we have a lot of churches that send kids to our school. So kind of going back a little bit to the development side of things, these are our naming right levels that we've come up with for the gym, for the campus, and things of that nature. Happy to talk with anyone through any of these, no pressure again, like I said, but I am a fundraiser for lack of a better word. So here's our timeline, right? Big question again on when is this going to happen, when is this going to start. We did just have a town hall with a lot of parents and grandparents that showed up to discuss what we're doing, what's the timeline look like. So I believe our permit's into the city. I think that's correct. Is that correct, Graham? I think that, okay, yeah. Yeah, our permit to the city has been submitted for our construction. So we're looking to June here in June, so next month. August 24, we'll we'll be starting our last year in our current building. And then July of next year, 2025, we hope to start moving into the new building. So that will be finishing that construction. And again, everyone knows construction, those timelines can change, but we really want to start that 2025 school year in our new building. Now, whether if that's the gym maybe not fully completed, I say that cautiously because we don't know how construction's going to go. So it's hard to say what's going to happen from that point. However, the kids will be starting in that building in that fall 2025 school year. So that's kind of our timeline on this project. And as I said, the third floor will come into play whenever it needs to come into play. We have the funds to do so. I'll come back to question and answers, don't worry. But I'm gonna kind of go forward. So this is the leadership that's kind of taking us to where we are, as well as the previous boards that started this initial feasibility and started this initial campaign, because it has been quite a bit. So Lisa, who's on, she's a phenomenal head of school. If you ever talk to her about River Oak, she has a great passion for the kids that she leads and the teachers and staff that she leads. And as a phenomenal leader. Same thing with Jacob Baker, who's now our deputy head of school and middle school principal and middle school teacher. Those two are just have been phenomenal for River Oak. And then our current board of directors, which is why I call Grant out because his name is going to be on here anyways. Excuse me, but we have a vision for River Oak, and it started several years ago. With Sherry's a big part of that, and so we thank you thank the previous board as well as the current board to continue on the mission that we have. So want to plug that, and then I'll host Q&A too. So no pressure, no high school questions. Those are off the table. I don't want to answer those. But the great thing about what we're doing too, this was so I'm kind of happy we had a town hall because I'm going to, instead of taking everyone up for questions, I'll kind of alleviate some of those potentially. Technology was important to parents, and security was important for parents. And so we've addressed both of those in this building. And we think that the security side, unfortunately, that's just a reality of schools right now. And so I wish it wasn't, but it is. So we've addressed that, and the construction committee has done a phenomenal job on that, of addressing the safety, but then also, what technology is going to be within that building, smart boards, all those different kind of things for us for our kids to have success in their high school careers as well, and what that technologies look like. And technology is ever changing, so that could look different here in a year or two, depending on when we get in there and what's needed. So Lisa and Jacob have been a part of this construction committee, a part of the plans from the get-go. So the flow, the needs that they're well aware of, and the construction committee has been great to listen to them on what their suggestions were and needs are as well. So with that, I'll open up to any questions. So no pressure. I didn't do that. I took high school question off. That's fine.
Could you talk a little bit about your extracurricular activities that your students have now and what they might look like in the future with the new gym?
Yeah, so extracurricular activities, the two biggest ones we offer right now for sports, I guess I would say, are archery and cross country. Those are the only two that we offer right now. Archery is getting, we've sent kids to nationals. I think we sent one to, not world, maybe it was national, I'm sorry. I'm not sure how the archery board works necessarily, but archery is big and cross country is big. So for right now, we're a little bit limited. Like I said, we're new to the middle school era too. So we're still learning that as well. I think there are there's something, and I'm not going to say it correctly, so I'm going to apologize, but there's some, I don't know if it's an agreement with public schools, where some of our students can go to the public schools and play, whether it's volleyball, and I see parents shaking their heads, so that happened, right? Where they can play volleyball and stuff like that, or different sports or do different things. So that's kind of where our extracurriculars stay right there. I think we're hoping to increase that. I mean, we would love to have, boys and girls volleyball, boys and girls basketball, our own teams, River Oak teams where, that we're, excuse me, that we can have in the future. And then also with the science lab, STEM is a big thing as well. So with those extracurricular, maybe there's robotics in the future. Maybe there's just these things that we're going to be opened up to for extracurricular wise that we can't really do right now because of the building that we're in. So I think those will definitely be talked about once we kind of see and get a feel for what we'll be able to do.
I have a question.
Yes,
What is your tuition? Or do you have a tuition?
yes.
And then second, do you have sponsorships?
Okay, so tuition.
Tuition and sponsorship.
Yes, we do have tuition. Right now, I think it's 5,400, yeah, for this coming school year, it's 5,400. And that's in kinder prep 5-day through the 8th grade. Kinder prep 3 days is a little different, it's a little bit more because it's only a 3-day. Excuse me. And sponsorships, we don't have sponsorships in the sense of.
Or fund to
Yeah.
sponsor students that
Yeah,
we can't
we do.
afford to pay?
Do you say sponsorship or scholarship?
Well, scholarships.
Scholarships, okay, I'm very sorry.
No,
I'm Marine.
I said
I'm
sponsorship,
Marine, so I
sponsorship,
can't-
scholarships, sorry.
Okay, scholarships, yes, I'm sorry. We do offer scholarships for students. I would say, I think, is it 20 or 30%, I believe, are probably on scholarships, maybe a little less than that. But yes, we do have scholarships, and that's a lot of time when the churches come into play. They'll provide scholarships for kids maybe from their churches to go to school. So yes, we do have that available as well. So apologies on.
Well, I said sponsorships, but that scholarship would be a better, that was a better
Yes,
term.
scholarship, yes, we so both, yeah. So, and as I said, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, so we do have the ability to do stuff like that, so. Yes.
You might mention that we have an agreement with PALS, and so we have I think it's a third grade has our own little football team that is playing with PALS and.
There we go. Okay, so we do have a sponsor with PAL as well, as far as football and stuff like that, so that's good to know as well, so.
So the extracurricular that I just took add to is that STEM idea. One of the things that as the construction committee we're hearing from Mr. Baker, in the science room, he wants to make sure there's fireproof counters and things like that. I'm like, what do you want fireproof counters for? It's like, oh, the kids will love this, So we're putting we're putting our best efforts into that science lab area, really to be able to do what is relevant to times right now for them. So we're gonna have a very nice science lab there, which will cause some extracurricular activities after school for that type of STEM programs and stuff like that.
What's your ethnic or racial population numbers, your percentages?
Yeah, the percentage.
You're listening to this one.
Gosh, 15 to 20? Honestly,
Let's get back.
I can get back to that. Honestly, I don't know. That's what I'm not asking for, so that's good. I'll get back to that.
What is your school that either or do you have after school care?
We do, yes. Yeah, we have an aftercare program that goes, actually, we also have a core care program too, so we offer before school and after school.
Once the new part is complete, the construction, how many students will it accommodate then?
I think I would say that 275 or 300 is probably our goal because of the 2 every grade. Now, as I said, we're running higher classes right now in first, second, and third grade because of we don't have enough kids to split, we don't have enough space to split. So we're trying to be, I think ideally maybe 18 to 20 in a class would be doable. So we have 2 of those that are going to report out. I can do that. You guys are bankers, maybe you can do that. But that 20-ish, 18 per class is probably where we want to be. Right now, some of these classes are running 22, 23, and that's a lot to ask for a teacher to do. And so that's kind of why we want to be able to grow and be able to split. And we're aware of, with a bigger building comes additional costs, comes additional teachers, and so we're aware of that, planning for that future as well. Yes?
Yes, I was wondering what your academic standards were as far as someone graduating from the 8th grade. And I'm inquiring because I know some school districts do pass, fail type of thing. Some people get points, some people get grades.
Yeah.
Just wondering how you want to do it.
Yeah, so we do grades. That's a phenomenal question for Lisa. I wish she was here now online because that's, unfortunately, I'm not tied into the academics other than, yes, we do grades. We do I think it's math testing is what they call it as well. We do that testing as well. I think our students just went through it. So, yeah, we are on a grade scale. And that's kind of what, we do see our students performing, or achieving very good scores on that testing, so we're excited to see that for our kids. Hopefully that answers, I'm sorry if it doesn't give you the best answer, but. Okay.
And your special services, are that's handled through the public schools?
Yes, yeah, right now, yes it is. I'm just gonna leave it right there, yes it is.
Great questions. Good. Anybody else?
Thank you all very much for your time.
There's Travis's contact.
Yes, my business card should have been on the.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you need them, just let me know. Thank you.
A lot of interest. Great program. Thank you. Thank you. I'm calling Gary. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. We distributed some cards, these little 3x5 things, or 4x6, about our talent retention and attraction campaign that we had launched just in the last month. We have a lot of great partners on this from the public and private sector. And we really would encourage you to go look at this website. It really tells a great story about why Jefferson City is such a great place to live and work, grow, and share that information in your communication channels, please. We don't have a huge advertising budget right now. We're planning on that for the fall, for the next phase of this campaign. So anything you can do to help us get this word out, share it, follow us on Facebook. We're going to be launching a contest in the next few days to the chamber members, asking them to follow us and like what they see. So please help us get the word out. And it's a great story. I don't know why we didn't start telling the story earlier, but I think this whole workforce talent challenge that we're all facing right now really brought it to our attention. And we've got a lot of people that are excited about this. Thank you.
Good. Okay, member announcements. Anybody in the room have an announcement that they'd like to make about maybe something in their business or something they're involved in the community for the good? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Online, go ahead.
So this is Joan Welks with Central Bank and YP. I apologize for not being there today. I have a sick kiddo. But we have picked a date for our YP Summit. It will be September 26th.
Very good. September 26th, YP Summit. Great. Thank you.
Okay, July 20th is the Angie Palooza, which is the concert featuring Mark Chestnut, country music legend Mark Chestnut, out of the amphitheater. All the proceeds from Angie Palooza benefit the Red Slipper Warrior Project, which is an empowerment and support organization, psychological and emotional support for women and little girls with cancer. So July 20th, Mark Chestnut. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
Capital City Council has our 9th annual golf tournament on Monday, June 3rd at their City Country Club.
Anybody else? Sharon?
Santon is having their 24th annual luncheon on May 23rd at Capitol Plaza. The proceeds to benefit our community project and more importantly, our second chance scholarships. And the Chamber was nice enough to put these flyers out, and so you want to grab one. That's strong.
Good, yeah. Anybody else? Anybody online? Anybody else online have something they'd like to share? Okay, going once. Right? Okay. Well, I guess we'll see you at our next Friday coffee. It's always on the second Friday, 9 o'clock here and online. So it's going to be June 14th. So hope that you could. Oh, Gary, did you
Just
have?
wanted to mention, we have Senator Bert Skinner, Representative Griffith, and Representative Bee will be at that Friday coffee, and it should be a very interesting conversation about the session that will be done by then.
All right. Anything else in closing? All right. Thanks to our sponsor. Thanks to our presenter.